Look up tonight. Not at your phone. Actually, look up. On a clear night, you can see about 4,000 stars with the naked eye. Seems like a lot. It's not even close. There are 400 billion stars in our galaxy alone, and our galaxy is one of 2 trillion. The numbers aren't just big, they're so absurd they stop meaning anything. So here's a question that should keep you up at night. With all those stars, all those planets, all that time for life to get started, where is everybody? In 1950, physicist Enrico Fermi was having lunch at Los Alamos. They were joking about flying saucers, and Fermi suddenly got serious. He ran the numbers in his head and asked one question nobody could answer. Where are they? That question has haunted science for 70 years. Because the math says the galaxy should be teeming with civilizations. Not dozens, millions, some billions of years older than us. And yet, nothing. We've pointed our most powerful telescopes at the sky for decades. No signals, no megastructures, no evidence that anyone has ever existed. Just silence. Perfect, deafening silence. Let's talk numbers. In 1961, astronomer Frank Drake wrote an equation. Not to solve the problem, but to frame just how insane it is. 400 billion stars in the Milky Way. 20% have Earth-like planets in habitable zones. That's 80 billion worlds. Not stars, worlds. Places where something could wake up and wonder about the sky. Even if life only sparks on 1 in a million of those worlds, that's still 80,000 civilizations in one galaxy, out of 2 trillion. And here's where it gets unsettling. Our sun is middle-aged in a very old galaxy. Stars here have been burning billions of years longer. Any civilization around those ancient suns would have a head start that makes human history look like a rounding error. Even at 1% the speed of light, no warp drives, no magic, you could colonize the entire galaxy in 10 million years. Sounds like forever. But the galaxy's 13 billion years old. They've had the time. More than enough time. The math doesn't whisper that aliens should exist. It screams, and the universe just stares back. Silent, empty, like nobody's home, like nobody was ever home. Humanity has cooked up some explanations for this silence. Tidy little theories that help us sleep at night. And honestly, most of them are cope. Maybe they're too far away. Space is big, sure, but a civilization with a million-year head start doesn't care about distance. They've had time to reach every star. Next, maybe they're watching us, like some cosmic zoo. Flattering. But that requires every civilization in the galaxy to agree on non-interference for billions of years. Not one rebel, not one tourist. Come on. Maybe we're early, first to the party. But Earth-like planets have existed for 10 billion years. We're not early, we're embarrassingly late. Every one of these explanations has the same fatal flaw. They only work if the exception is universal. Every civilization hiding, everyone extinct. It only takes one to break the pattern. Across 2 trillion galaxies, not one? So what if they don't avoid us and don't hide? What if they just don't survive? There's a concept called the Great Filter. A barrier between dead chemistry and galactic civilization so absolute that nothing in 13 billion years has ever crossed it. Maybe the filter is behind us. Maybe the leap from chemistry to a living cell was the nearly impossible miracle, and we already cleared it. That would make us unfathomably lucky. But maybe the filter is ahead. Maybe every civilization that reaches our level hits a wall. And maybe that wall is self-inflicted. Imagine a dark forest at night. Not a park, a forest that stretches forever in every direction. You know there are others in here, you can feel it, but you can't see them, and you don't know what they want. You have two options: call out, hope whoever hears you is friendly, or stay silent, because in this forest, the safest strategy is the simplest one. Don't be found. This is the dark forest theory, and once you understand the logic behind it, you might wish you hadn't. Any civilization that survives long enough to become advanced must prioritize its own survival. That's not evil, it's selection pressure. The ones that didn't prioritize survival, already gone. When two civilizations discover each other, neither can be certain of the other's intentions, and the cost of guessing wrong isn't a diplomatic incident. It's extinction. The permanent end of everything you ever were. Even if they seem peaceful, you can't trust that across centuries. Regimes change, technologies evolve. A friendly neighbor today could be pointing something very unfriendly at your star in 1,000 years. So the rational move? Eliminate the threat before it becomes real. Strike first, strike fast. Don't wait to find out if they're friendly. By the time you know, it's already too late. The civilizations that figured this out early? Survivors. The ones that broadcast their location, that lit up the forest with friendly signals. Gone. Not even a ruin left to find. That's why the galaxy's silent. Not because nobody's out there, because the survivors know better than to make a sound. And here's what should genuinely unsettle you. Every surviving civilization has learned the same lesson. Stay silent, stay hidden, stay alive. But us, we are not quiet. We are the opposite of quiet. For over a century, Earth has been leaking radio signals into space. Television, radar, cell towers, an expanding bubble of electromagnetic noise radiating outward at the speed of light. And we didn't just leak, we shouted. In 1974, we aimed the Arecibo telescope at a star cluster 25,000 light-years away and blasted a message directly at it. On purpose. We launched the Voyager probes, carrying golden records, literal maps to Earth with images of humans, our DNA, and our exact location in the galaxy. We might as well have left the porch light on. That radio bubble now extends over 200 light-years. It's washed over thousands of star systems, and it grows every second. We cannot call it back. If the dark forest theory is right, if the galaxy is full of ancient hunters sitting in disciplined silence, then we've been doing the one thing every survivor knows never to do. We have been screaming into the dark. Maybe nobody's listening. Maybe the forest is empty. That would be the best possible outcome. And that should tell you something about the alternatives. But next time you look up at the stars, consider the alternative. Something ancient and patient might have already heard us. And in a dark forest, you never hear the shot.